You may have seen that everyone these days is talking about Dubai, and I wanted to make this video. It's a bit different to what I usually talk about. I wanted to share my experience of living there for 6 months. I booked a one-way flight to Dubai last year and spent 6 months of the year there, living, working, connecting with people, and my take on it is a bit different to what most people say, which is why I wanted to make this video. A lot of people talk about being lonely in Dubai, about not being able to have good people around you. And they say this for many cities, London, New York, LA, whatever other city you want to talk about. And Dubai was also given this label, right, of being difficult to have good people around you. I had the complete opposite experience. I had an amazing circle around me, grounded, thoughtful individuals that cared about you. Right? I had a great circle around me because it's not about the city. It's about your intention, the place you're coming from. You can be lonely anywhere in the world, but it's about how you're choosing to navigate that. Yes, in Dubai, there are people that perhaps connect on more surface levels, but you get that anywhere. But being willing to build those deeper connections, to be out, to network, to connect, and to take the initiative to build that circle around you is what can really make the difference. I met so many people that had the experience of having a great circle around them and so many that didn't. But it was more about the place they were coming from and how they were choosing to navigate that environment. So Dubai can be a place to have a great circle around you. One of the biggest talking points about Dubai is dating. Whether it's men or women, right? People talk about the superficiality, the fakeness, not being able to have genuine, long-term, meaningful relationships, how people are always trying to just use you or take something from you. And again, that exists, it happens. However, I did date in Dubai, and my experience was the opposite again. Now, I strongly believe that you attract more of what you are, right? So when I'm dating, I tend to now have this automatic filter to not engage with certain women who I can sense are perhaps superficial, perhaps fake, or coming from that place, and it's not going to be a suitable partner for me to interact with. So again, there are great women in Dubai, there are great men in Dubai, but it's just about being intentional with it and looking at who you're feeding your time and attention into, where you're meeting those people, and focusing on the relationship that you have with yourself. I've seen it happen so much in my life where as the relationship with myself improved, as I began to become more grounded, more loving, more self-aware, I naturally invited more people on that similar frequency into my life. It happens like that. So it's not Dubai. It's about who you're being in Dubai. So yes, good women with great morals, great values, who are compassionate, loving, kind, they're there. They just have to be connected with. As you've seen, Dubai can be a very flashy place, right? Lamborghinis everywhere, skyscrapers, people dressed a certain way. And when you're living there, you might be tempted to get caught up in it, right? To feel like you have to dress a certain way, or you have to want the same things everyone else wants. By the way, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to want those things. It's perfectly great to want those things, right? Nothing against it. But it's more about looking at, are you coming from a place where you want it because you want it, or because everyone else is doing it? What I'm trying to get at is, in this environment, it's important to be grounded in who you are, to stay true to who you are, and not feel like you need to start being the way that everyone else is. You may as well be a sheep at that point. So in a place where a lot of people start to dress similar, act similar, want similar things, yes, it's great if you want those things too, absolutely. But be self-aware enough to see, are you staying true to who you actually are? One thing I really loved about being in this environment, and it's not exclusive to Dubai, it's just so much more obviously prevalent in Dubai, is that it can broaden your scope and horizon of what can be a new normal, what can be a new level of possibility. And that can apply in your finances, your business, and just your lifestyle. I'd say those are the three main areas where Dubai is a great place for that. Finances, business, lifestyle, looking at what can be a new paradigm of what can be a normal life. When you grow up in certain environments or surrounded in certain areas, your scope of what's normal and what's possible can be extremely in a bubble, right? Because you haven't seen anything different yet. But in that environment in Dubai, I had my eyes opened to realizing, wow, there is so much more available, there's so much more possible, and the people that are creating this are no different to you. They're just people. So it helps you to understand what's also available and possible for you if you're willing to create it. For example, you might have an idea of what's an unrealistic income to earn per month, right? You might think, earning 50K per month, for example, is unrealistic, just as an example. Now, I was regularly interacting with individuals that were earning anywhere between 50 to a million per month. I also met people that were close to billionaires. Now, again, it's not like they're special or they're different. It's just about seeing what is actually available if you're willing to create it. So this is what I mean about broadening your scope of what's possible, of what can be normal, and the lifestyle that comes with it. Throughout my journey, I've always wanted to lead from a place of heart, from a place of soul, from a place of groundedness. And when I went to Dubai, I saw that the city needs this. It needs more heart-centered, soul-led leaders who are helping people to connect more to their heart space, to love themselves more, and to just be way more grounded. Now, yes, there are people that are like that in Dubai, but so much of it gets lost in the flashiness, in the fakeness, in feeling like you need to prove something or be something or put on this mask. It's not exclusive to Dubai, by the way. So much of the world has this mask on where you feel like you need to prove or be something. But it's a city that is in need of soul connection, of helping people to deepen the connection to themselves and to each other. So I would encourage so many of these heart and soul-led leaders, transformation makers, to go there, to bring more heart and soul into the city. From a purely logistical point of view, I absolutely loved the safety. It is one of the safest places that I've ever been and ever felt, and I'm coming from London, where I still feel safe, but I'm vigilant. In Dubai, it's the opposite. You just feel that no matter what you do, where you go, like you're okay. Because crime is pretty much non-existent in a threatening way. Another thing is the innovation of the city. Wow. I was blown away by how quick the city is to adapt, to change things, to change laws, regulations, to improve the city, to develop. It's incredible. And the efficiency of the transport, of even simple things like getting things delivered to your house, shopping, groceries, all of this, mind-blowing. I hadn't seen anything like it before. One thing I really loved was the ease to get around. Yes, there are some areas where there's a lot of traffic, but compared to somewhere like London, where it can take you an hour or two to get across the city, Dubai, anywhere is within a 20-minute drive, pretty much, unless you're going out to the Palm, and that was extremely efficient. Now, I said I was there for 6 months, but that was over the winter period, right? So the next 6 months would have been in the summer. And it's not really an ideal place to be, which is a downside. Because if I was to be there longer term, I would end up having to leave each summer because going outside would just be unbearable in those temperatures. So that's also something to consider. Something I did miss was the nature. Yes, you have the beach, you've got the desert and certain other areas, but the greenery that you find in the UK or other areas, it was something that I did start to miss. So that's also another thing worth considering if you wanted to live there longer term. Something I really loved about the city is this willingness for people to connect, to encourage each other, to help each other, to grow together, to collaborate. People are way more inviting in building partnerships and relationships and genuinely wanting you to win. There's a much lower occurrence of people being envious, jealous, trying to bring you down or keep you where they are. There's a general mentality of abundance in the city, which is amazing. And it's pretty obvious, right? Because you see it's all about bigger, better, shinier. Now, yes, there's a dark side to that, which I talked about earlier in the video. On the other hand, it's also a great place to just grow, to build, to network and meet so many amazing people. I spent 6 months there and I'll be going back. I loved it. Yes, there were a couple of things that I wasn't keen on, but for the vast majority of it, I loved the city and what it's about and the opportunities you can create from there and who you can become, who it can invite you to become. It's a place that invites growth. So if that's something that you're really feeling drawn towards right now, it's an amazing place for that. But as I said at the beginning of this video, the people really make it. So focus on building those connections, nurturing relationships, putting in the initiative to create them, to build them, because it really does make all the difference. I don't want to make this about Dubai, about how great Dubai is, how not great Dubai is, how it's about the city. This video isn't about Dubai. It's about who you are. It's about who you are in Dubai, who you're being in Dubai, because that's what makes all the difference. It's not Dubai. It's the state that you're in. It's the place that you're coming from that really influences everything else. That's my Dubai rant and reflection over. But if you're thinking of going, I'd love to hear more. Drop a comment telling me about your experience in Dubai, what you think about it, and what's potentially pulling you into checking it out. Now, this video was a bit different to what I usually create, so be sure to check out some of my other videos. If you found value, give this a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Much love.